on, guys? This is another episode of Entrepreneur Enthusiast Podcast. I got derailed. I was supposed to be in Bali for one of my mentors' conferences. I wasn't able to make it because I had some issues with getting in the country. I had to come back, and I'm fortunate enough because I've been planning this podcast for a while, and I'm glad we got to wait because you've hit some milestones, and you've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I think one of my first LLCs I started with you,
Max and Sync,
along with some others. Shout out to them. But when I think of an entrepreneur, I feel like you embody all the qualities and all the traits of what entrepreneurship is. A no bullshit, no excuse attitude. Just get it done, figure it out, and get it done. And you've been on the grind.
Thank you.
For a long time, as far as sales, and you can sell the hell out of shit. Know that for a fact. So, we got Oliver Barroso here. I know him as different names, but we'll talk about that. We got Oliver Barroso here on the Entrepreneur Enthusiast Podcast. Really here to, congratulations on your recent ventures that we'll get to. But the mindset of an entrepreneur, when did that first come from you? When did you first start becoming an entrepreneur?
It really, it comes with chasing your passions.
Yeah.
So my first passion was music.
Yeah.
And then just kind of, we grew up in that era where, rappers were entrepreneurs. Like that was something that they pushed.
Yeah.
So you automatically kind of wanted to at least get your own little CD ready, get out there and sell it, and, make a name in your own community. Yeah. And now you make a name, make some money.
Make some money
for it. And that was yeah. And that was part of, what you're pushing. Is that I rap. Yeah, I've got bars and all that, but I'm actually out here in the streets hustling. People are buying my records. Yeah. So that's really when the entrepreneurship started for me, is that I had a passion for music, and if I was going to make music and actually be heard, the next step was to get out there and sell it. So you had no choice.
So that was your first sales job, entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Okay. Well, because the thing is, really, you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing, you're selling yourself. You are
selling yourself no matter what.
No matter what. So honestly, the first product I sold was a CD.
Yeah.
And then I learned that I was a great salesperson.
Yeah.
Because I had always been
Because
selling
it actually worked.
Well, I'd always been selling myself anyway in certain ways to do this or to do that. So now that I had a product that I could actually monetize and say, hey, this is who I am, objectified in this object, in this product, and I can sell it to you. And in reality, I can tell you the price is $5 or $10. Yeah. But the more I talk to you, the value is actually going up. It's $20, $100.
So then you started just liking that part of it, just closing the deal.
It's strange, man. Especially when you're first starting out and you're like in the struggle part.
Yeah.
I used to love starting off my day with damn near no money and finishing with a pocket full.
Did you play a lot of Monopoly when you were young?
My grandfather did. My grandfather was big on Monopoly. Always would get the family together and play Monopoly, but he would beat the hell out of us. Did you
ever win?
Not against him.
But you would win against other people.
Yeah, once I started to play other people.
Was he like one of those Monopoly players that were like, there's no real rules to Monopoly? Because there are no rules in Monopoly. You can make any deal you want. You can make any kind of backdoor deal you want, any partnership you want. Right. You can kind of cut people out. You can corner people in. Like, Monopoly's a real screwed up game when you really get down to the essence of it. Yeah. Like, but it's still like did he beat you like that? Because when I play people in Monopoly, once I really learned how to play, I tell people the story. I went to this camp, and I was the only person that looked like me at this camp. And at this camp,
what type of camp was it?
It was a math camp at UCLA Extensions.
A STEM type of camp.
Yeah. So one day the teacher pulled out Monopoly. In the class, we all played Monopoly with each other. And I had been playing Monopoly with my friends, but I didn't really know I was playing Monopoly.
I bet your dad's a good Monopoly player.
I don't know.
You never played with your dad?
I never played Monopoly with my dad, nah. Okay. Yeah, we never really got to play board games like that. I never really, Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna ask him now. That's one thing I'm gonna do.
My dad and I play chess.
I'm gonna call him out. We need to have a game. Your dad, me and my dad versus you and your dad. Hey, I bet me and my dad.
Hey, you know what? Hey, knowing how my dad is on the entrepreneurial tip, I bet y'all would kind of win that. But then again, you never know. I might make up for it, man. We might turn up.
Yeah, no, for real. But I swear I went into this and it was a tournament and I expected to do good because I was good at Monopoly. I was good. I got the brakes beaten off of me. Like I was, as things were coming back and forth, because these kids had played before, and they knew the rules of Monopoly, and they knew the rules. They knew the rules. Yeah, and it's important.
The rules that aren't written.
The rules that aren't written, and it's important to even know that in the game, like real life, like to know what the rules are, like what people are doing, how things flow, like how things go, and a lot of times we don't read the instructions. We just get out and start playing, but you gotta read the instructions. What's one of the hardest things that you've overcome as an entrepreneur when you're pulling out like your life of instructions?
I think one of the things, there's a difference between customer service and sales.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that. And they think that being the nicest person possible and bending over backwards for people is the way to get things done. And it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
You need to set your boundaries.
Yeah.
You need to tell people how it's done. You need to lay out, this is how I do things.
Yeah.
We used to call it the order of the day. This is what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
First, I'll tell you the whole process, and then I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to get to know you a little bit. Then I'm going to show you the product. Then we're going to try to measure it and put the pricing together for you.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go over the pricing and how it breaks down. And then we're going to close the deal.
Yeah.
You can just go ahead and say it. But the main thing is, you're not in control. I am.
How'd you end up in Los Angeles?
How did I end up in Los Angeles? I'm born and raised here.
Yeah. So how did your parents end up in Los Angeles?
My mom is from...
Because you brought up your dad from Argentina. Mm-hmm. Where's your mom from?
Kansas City, Kansas.
How'd they meet?
My mom, eventually moved here via her parents.
Yeah.
My grandfather worked for McDonnell Douglas, the airline. So they went from, I think he was from Little Rock, Arkansas, and he and my grandmother moved to Kansas and were living there, then New Jersey. Then he moved to California by himself and the family stayed back.
Yeah.
And he moved to Compton at first.
Yeah.
Bought his first home in Compton. And told a lot of his friends out there in New Jersey and in Kansas and Arkansas, hey, they're hiring black people out here.
Yeah.
Come out to McDonnell Douglas. You can work on the airplanes.
Yeah.
And a lot of his friends started coming out. And then eventually, once, Compton was cool, but then he moved to Baldwin Hills. Mm-hmm. And my grandfather and a lot of his friends were part of kind of making Baldwin Hills a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
And, back then the homes were 75 to 100 grand, maybe 125 in the 70s. Now they're all $2 million homes.
$2 million homes.
And it's a predominant.
I see the whole, LA landscape with Baldwin Hills.
Baldwin Hills is dope because it's hills in Los Angeles, and from there you can see downtown, see Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then, also the freeways are right there.
Everything.
It's a great location.
So you were born right there.
Yeah, I'm from Baldwin Hills, adjacent to Crenshaw, right by the jungles.
So he saw your mom at the grocery store.
My dad was from Argentina, moved here when he was 30.
Yeah.
Came as an immigrant, first.
How much English did he speak?
Not very much.
Wow, so that's bold right there.
Yeah.
You're not just doing that did he have education?
Yeah, he was educated. He actually went to medical school.
So he was practicing being a doctor.
No, he went to medical school and was being a hippie. Actually, it was,
okay.
It was a certain era. It was a certain time, right?
And he's at 30 years old, oh, I'm about to go to the States.
You know what's interesting? I didn't know this about my dad until recently because I moved to Argentina with him.
Yeah.
In 2017, when Trump became president, we made a bet. The night of the election, he was in America. He lives in Argentina currently, but we were in America the night of the election. And we made a bet that if Trump wins, I was going to move back with him to Argentina.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you held that bet.
We know how that went. And I had to back it up. I said, damn, I said it. I'm going to back it up. So my car was a lease. I turned it in. I had a sales job. I just quit. And I said, let's go. Moved out. Let's go. But when I was there, I didn't realize he opened a bar in Argentina. He had never told me that. And, until I was actually there and we're walking down the street. Oh, yeah, I used to own a bar here. Mm-hmm. What? Yeah, when I was in my late 20s, I opened up a bar and, kind of let too many tabs get too big. But then I get it, right? But that's the thing, being nice.
Yeah.
I've had to learn in my own life, you got to be firm with people.
Man, you got to be firm as fuck with people.
You got to be firm as fuck. And even if they're your friends or family, what I've learned is Be firm now. Say what you got to say. Do what you got to do. And over time, the relationship will repair. They'll get over it. They'll respect you for what you did. But get your fucking money, man.
Yeah,
don't let nothing get between you and your money.
It's about telling the truth. Honestly, you got to just tell the truth and with your feelings. Yeah. The one thing you got to be true to is your feelings. I feel like people avoid that. Yeah. I feel like people have issues expressing that. And you and I have had conversations that
I've had arguments,
but it's expressive of the feeling. You say how you feel, I say how I feel, and you leave and still feel how you feel, still feel how I feel. But that's a testament to a lot of people can't handle even that conversation.
Right. You're a real one for real, but to take that from me, that I said everything. I said, you know what, fuck this joke, and walked out, and you're still like, next time I called you was good. Yeah. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that from you and from other people that even though the last convo went that way, the next time you call me, what's up? What's going on? That was then. Like, this is now. Oh, you have some more money for me? Good.
Like,
what's going on?
We just had that conversation. All right,
so well. Oh well.
So your dad's 30 years old. He moves out here to the States. Was there a why?
I think just freedom in general.
Yeah.
You know, when I moved over there, one thing I did realize, we're talking about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is encouraged and cultivated and celebrated here.
Yeah.
In some places of the world, it's not.
Man.
You're viewed as being greedy.
I'm a patriot. People get on me about that, but yeah.
Right. You know, even as African Americans, we're very much Americans.
We're Americans, yeah.
You can't get away from this. So when I realized, because I lived there for about 4 months and made plenty of friends.
Yeah.
But I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I began to see the opportunities that other people weren't even seeing. That, you know what? These people like this. They have plenty of this. If they just put that together and sold that here, maybe only for the summertime, but that's why I'm getting a mid-lease.
Yeah.
But that's how my mind thinks.
Yeah.
And my friend Alex had to tell me that. You're an American.
You're an American.
Every time you speak, you start talking about money. And
what did Lawrence Fishburne saying? It was Boys in the Hood, right?
You remind me.
He was talking to Trey. He was out there showing the social economics of the community. He was like, look at over here, look at all this opportunity. Mm-hmm. We just buy in our neighborhood, like we gotta do this, and like we weren't even known we were throwing those the movie with the Waynes. He was like, message.
That's why he made fun because, like, in case you didn't notice this scene, message. Oh, 100%. He told me this one night, we were just hanging out, and they didn't have any hookah bars.
Yeah.
They had this thing called artisanal, but artisanal, right? Yeah. Artisanal beers and you know, all natural beer thing, and that was their thing out there. And of course they did it with all nice wood finishes, so it looks like Culver City, but you're in a third world country, you wouldn't know, right? So that was their thing, all these artisanal bars. And I was saying, man, if y'all open up some hookah bars with just a little liquor license, because they love smoking cigarettes like crazy. I was like, hookah bars would take off here. And they had a whole little strip. And it was nice. I was like, oh yeah, this is the perfect spot. This reminds me like kind of Beverly Hills-ish a little bit. You get your little hookah bars, they would go crazy. Get your little plants, your little lights.
It's new.
He was like, what?
Yeah.
You're an American. You came to the best part of our neighborhood and thought of what you could do to make it better? This is the best part of town. This is the Beverly Hills of town. And you walked over and said, nah, y'all need hookah bars. Y'all ain't even lit enough.
Y'all ain't even lit enough.
Y'all ain't lit enough. And he was like, yeah, you're an American. So I didn't realize that until then. So, I mean, I think as far as my dad leaving the country, I think, you know, as you begin to grow and experience more and see more, you want to do more.
Do you feel like he falls under that category of like he's an American now? Or he still has, like, obviously you can't get rid of your old ways. Like, no matter what, I'm from LA, no matter where I live. Yeah. I'll always be from LA. I'll always be an LA dude. Like,
certain things
it's just not gonna go away. Like, even on my flight here, I was passing the duty free. The guy from Melbourne, he was like, he was like, you're from California, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, you're from Southern California. I was like, yeah. He was like, San Bernardino. I was like, nah, bro.
Nah, not quite.
I'm from LA. Like, ain't that many black people in San Bernardino, but like, it was just like he recognized.
I don't think they give the black community in San Bernardino enough credit. It's probably damn near.
Sorry to all the black people that live in San Bernardino. Sorry,
plenty of niggas in SB.
For all y'all. If I ever get out there, I'll probably never be in San Bernardino.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Let's keep it friendly for San Bernardino in the Riverside County, man. They got a lot of shit going on out there.
Yeah, I don't.
They gang bang out there. I'll tell you that much.
I 100% believe it.
Gang banging out there.
Where is San Bernardino?
I don't even know.
It's a county. There's Los Angeles
San
County.
Bernardino, yeah, there's Riverside County. But just the IE, it's popping.
Okay, I've been in San Bernardino. I almost lived in San Bernardino County when I was going up north because it's huge. It goes halfway to Bakersfield down there.
Exactly.
It's huge.
I used to sell a lot of mixtapes there. Merino Valley, shout out to everybody out there, man. They definitely supported. It was always cool. So yeah, no, I got a lot of love for the IE.
Yeah. We will get into that because you used to be in the streets selling them mixtapes a lot. But so your dad came to the States, then he met your mom, and he like.
I think from what I recall, because of course I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I think he was working valet at some place.
Gamed her up.
I need your number.
I need your number.
I need that chocolate.
Boom, bam, bam. They had you. Your mom was already out here. They had you. Now you're.
And see, my mom was the type. My mom moved out of her mom's house, family's house when she was 18.
Yeah.
She lived in Compton, moved to West Hollywood.
Okay.
And my mom has been on some Beatles. Her best friend's a white lady, Chloe, my godmother, love her to death. But my mom is on some like.
So she met your dad and was like, yeah.
Yeah, my mom, to keep it honest, my mom dated nothing but white boys. Yeah. Nothing but Italians and nothing. That was her thing. So whatever.
She was like, I'm out here.
She was on some Eric Clapton shit.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Shout out to mom for that.
Yeah, mom's was out moving and shaking, doing her thing. So, in the clubs and parties in West Hollywood and, just living her life. And so that's where she met my dad. And my dad was on some, foreigner,
You beautiful.
Yeah, you're beautiful. I came here to do something different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you guys, they got together. Now you're in LA, in a city that I would say has a lot going on. It's very busy. A lot of sirens, a lot of traffic, a lot of gang banging, a lot of police brutality. Like it's just so many ways, in here. And like I didn't realize the big of a city. Did you ever visit Argentina when you were young?
I visited when I was 12 or 13, or right around that.
Did that put anything in perspective for you? Or
absolutely.
Like what? Speak to that.
Well, I saw a real shanty town, like a real ghetto,
like real poverty.
Real poverty.
I was talking to somebody today. I was like, our hoods have grass.
No, more importantly, our hoods have running water. Electrical lines. The emergency systems may come late, but they do come.
They do come.
The welfare system may be flawed, but we have a welfare system.
Yeah.
The Medicare system may be flawed, but we have a hospital.
Yeah.
There's a doctor to complain to. He's not doing a good enough job.
Yeah.
It's not like that everywhere.
It's not.
And also, just the culture is different, so that let's say you did break your arm, they may just go ahead and wrap that up, do the thing, because Uncle so-and-so been doing, you cool.
Yeah.
So when I saw real houses made of sheet metal,
yeah,
like really made of like sticks, like or some sort of stilts to put it together.
Probably like a 10x8 shed too.
Just a shed, and kids playing soccer with no shoes on, And I was on the way to visit my grandma, who was in an old folks home because she had dementia, or I'm sorry, Alzheimer's. So you get to see real poverty.
Real poverty.
Another thing I also got to see being in Argentina was the what do we call it? Not forward progression, but upward mobility. The ability to come from lower class to middle class to upper class.
Hey, shout out to Cardi B.
And I fucking love Cardi B.
I love Cardi B.
Whoever don't like Cardi B, don't say that shit in front of me, because I'm her fan. Okay,
I remember
love her
when she had like 50,000 followers, and I was like, "Who is this girl?"
I remember her on Instagram saying, "Hoes don't get cold." And I was like, "This is true. All the hoes I know are always scantily clad.
Yeah,
every single time you see them, no matter what weather. It could be Vegas in the middle of the winter with the winds blowing, and they got their legs out and the titties out. That's what they do.
That's the only one thing you can do in this country. It warrants entrepreneurship. So you learned from seeing poverty, seeing those things, you were able to learn some core things that I don't got it as bad as like this dude over here, like that even got J's to get robbed, like
that part. That part. To even have the J's to be robbed, you have to understand what your blessings are.
What your blessings are.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a key part of the reason why I didn't gangbang.
Yeah.
Like, I understood what we were going through, but I also understood what we weren't going through.
Yeah.
You know, and then having a family that kind of taught me Black history as well, of what we went through in the 60s and the civil rights movement and kind of everything up until the crack era and then till now, and you're trying to tell me that I don't have options?
Yeah.
I do. I do. And I know that all I have to do is kind of just go to the other side of town and try a little harder and put myself in this position, go into this opportunity.
Yeah.
But I do have options. So when you tell me like, nah, you from the jungles, you got to be a Blood. If you walk across this side of town, you from 60s, you got to be a Crip. Nah, actually, bro, there's way more to it than that. I'm cool.
I interviewed Corbin from 40 Tons, and he was telling me the hood he lived in, and he was like basically between a bunch of hoods, and like he knows a lot of dudes, and like, what would you say to that young kid that actually, you know, he doesn't want to be a part of this, but he thinks that's life? Because I feel like the LA is not as lit as it was when we were growing up, and even before we were growing up. Right. But I feel like even the kids now are more so like clout chasing and pressure. Right. You know,
they feel pressure to be with the shit, even though the times don't call for that.
Yeah, and it's like you calling somebody online, like somebody you got to pull up. Like somebody could pull up on you. Like, I'm not about to tell you, oh, I see you on here and everything's internet game. So what would you tell to that kid that like is looking to get into that life, that wants to head on a narrower path and not necessarily, because I'm sure you like messed up still, but not decide to be affiliated?
I would say to any kid that's going through it right now, feeling any peer pressure, it's a marathon. It's a long game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you can't necessarily comprehend. You can't comprehend life at that early stage because you've only lived such a short amount of life.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm 36. That means 3 years of 12, right?
Yeah.
If you're 12, you've only lived one set of 12.
One set of 12.
And it's been a developmental set at that.
Yep.
From the very beginning to the end. You're a plant growing. You know, the more you see animals, plants, babies grow, businesses come and go, cities come and fade, recessions come and go.
Yep.
A guy you know turn to a girl. Like, look, man, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
Everything is not so final and so decided right now. So don't feel so much pressure to make such final decisions or such important decisions right now. There's a whole lot more going on. And also, I would tell any young person out there feeling any peer pressure, other people don't give as much of a fuck about you as you think.
Yeah.
You think people are so concerned about you and counting your losses and talking so much shit and clowning you all day, all night.
They're not.
They're not. Even if someone does talk shit about you, 5-10 minutes, then they move on to the next thing they're talking shit about.
A lot of it is because you have to be around them all the time. You have to see them. Well, I've learned with kids, like as an adult, I don't have to be around certain people. I could just remove myself. As a kid, you go to school with those people. Like you see those people every day. Right. So their energy is forced to be around you. You don't even know what they were going through. Like I always say, there's a story of like, when I was
going through at home when they're not at school.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, bro. Like I told the story a few times this weekend. Like there was a kid that actually really wanted to kill me, like legit, and like I didn't know why or what, but like I knew that was the threat. I knew that was what it was, but I learned how to avoid him and avoid his energy and not move where he was moving because of the safety of my life. But it's you know, as a kid, you know, you can't control that, and as an adult, we're able to get out, and so, you know, finding that confidence is important to make you want to just go out and try to do something positive, try to do something different, and be able to speak up and say that. And I think that's the main thing, being able to speak up and say, you know, I'm good.
One of the things you said right there is key is confidence. Yeah. You know, and one thing I hope some of those young people that find themselves in those awkward positions, I don't quite fit in positions, whatever it is, whether it's gangbang culture, whether it's just, you know, the social culture in school, where you don't find yourself fitting in. It takes a lot of confidence to be yourself, despite the fact that you don't fit in.
It takes a lot of confidence to be yourself.
It takes a lot of confidence to be yourself, despite the fact that you don't fit into people's norms. So when you see the other people who do fit into the norm, and they're so confident. Keep in mind, it's easy to be super confident when you're the captain of the football team.
Yep.
It's easy to be super confident when you're 6'6", shoulders this big, hair flowing, everybody loves you, and you're going to whatever college. Yep. It's kind of easy. It's easy to be confident when you're already a pretty girl with long flowing hair.
Even they cannot be confident because they're looking at somebody else's measuring stick.
That part.
You know,
part. You don't even really know what's going on.
I'm 6'5", but man, I wish I was 6'9", and like I'm the captain of the football team, but like I'm not getting any scholarships to any school.
Well, like you say, you don't know what's going on at home. I'm 6'5", captain of the football team, and my dad still doesn't love me. Yeah. He still won't give me validation.
You suck, Jimmy.
You suck, and it hurts my feelings. And all this confidence is me actually overcompensating for how I really. Yeah, but this is the real thing. So you just have to understand, if you're that, you clearly stand out. Other people stand out in their hearts. Maybe not outside, but they stand out in their hearts. But you stand out a little bit more clearly. It takes a lot of confidence to be yourself.
Yeah.
So have some fucking pride in that. You know, let people know, I'm different than y'all, and fuck y'all.
When did you gain confidence in being yourself?
You know,
mine happened when I became a dad.
Okay.
If I'm being honest.
You know what it is with me, honestly? I'm an artist.
Yeah.
My confidence wanes at times. Mm-hmm. My confidence wanes, even as an adult, right? Let's be honest. I suffer from depression and anxiety at times. I recognize it. Confidence wanes, it comes and goes, depending on what you may have experienced. You know, you can't lie to yourself. If something happens that hurts your ego, you have to actually take a moment to sit back and lick your wound and go, that kind of hurt.
Yeah.
That's just being real, being human. I'm not one that's trying to deny myself of the human experience.
Yeah. So
if I'm hurt, I'm hurt. Okay. Yeah. I know I have to get back up. Man. But, I've been made fun of before. I've made fun of people. I've been the coolest guy in the room.
What they call you? Because you're a pretty cool guy, man.
Thanks, man.
Every time I go, you are the coolest guy in the room.
I used to be called Sideshow Bob.
Okay.
Used to be called Sideshow Bob. I used to be told I talk like a white boy.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
You talk proper.
Exactly. And all I'm saying is, over time, it just takes a lot of confidence to just be yourself and stand up in that. You know? I've been called the mixed nigga or light skin and da-da. It takes time to just stand up in that. And it takes time to understand the advantages of that too.
Yeah.
And it also takes time for you to realize I am who I am, and that is not going to change.
No
matter what I do, no matter even if you don't like me, and even if all the shit you just said about me is 100% true, it's who I am, man. What you want me to do? So, after a while, you kind of get comfortable in your skin. Hopefully you get there earlier than later.
Yeah.
One of the things, I wasn't the best dresser when I was young.
Yeah,
high school.
LA's super fashionable.
LA's very big on fashion, very big on the kicks and having the fresh shit.
At Palisades, we got away with wearing flip-flops and white tees.
Right. I went to John Burroughs. So it was all about,
at the
time. Yeah, at the time it was Saucony's, Jordan's, Old Navy, when that was fresh, it was new.
Supporting all these brands.
Right, and I wasn't fly like that. And so they made fun of me. And so after the first semester of that of being made fun of.
Yeah. What else I got?
Y'all already got the jokes off, man. Y'all already got the jokes off. And by the way.
His real name is Clarence.
And by the way, though, I got these bars.
Yeah.
And when I spit they say, oh! So apparently, my goofy ass clothes don't even matter because I had the best punchline.
So your confidence came with your bars.
Yeah. Yeah. And also kind of, y'all already trashed me.
Yeah.
Okay.
My confidence came with girls.
Yeah.
They gave me confidence.
And that's part two.
Because dudes used to talk about me, but the girls like me.
The girls like you. So
I used to be like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
You know what it was with me? It was always the girls liked me. The girls I liked didn't like me. I wanted her to like me. Yeah, she don't like me.
I stopped caring about those girls. Like, whatever.
Yeah, it took me a while to get over that, to become an adult and go, oh, fuck it. That works. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was for me. It was like I had a crush on her, and 10 other girls had a crush on me, but I was obsessed with her because I wanted what I wanted.
Yeah. Nah, that's real. Like, that's real. I got what I wanted. My wife, shout out to her.
Yeah.
Now, she was like my first real girlfriend. Like, no shade to anybody else, but she was my first real girlfriend. I remember.
That's what's up. So you married your first real girlfriend?
I married my first real girlfriend.
That's beautiful, man.
I always told her, though, and I just recently told her this. When I was in high school, because I liked her so much, when I would meet other girls, like, I would, like, whatever. Like, I didn't care because I was like, I got somebody that liked me. that I like. That's like,
yeah, there's a thing going on here. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. So it just, I think that forced me to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
And focus on whatever I need to focus on. So whatever that is, you got to find what's going to give you that confidence, because if you don't love yourself, then like, because no one is supposed to love you or care about you but God.
It's like, no one's obligation to love you.
It's no one's obligation.
Yeah. And I think with me too, I also realized, like, when we're young, junior high, high school, we're going through puberty, everyone's growing up, you almost feel forced to be sexual.
Yeah.
And I think some of us, we're all different, blooming at different times.
Yeah.
You might not have been your super horny self, or like, you know, that might not have been you at the time. You had other things you were trying to do. Out.
Yeah, my first girlfriend broke up with me because I wasn't like...
You weren't trying to bang her out every 5 seconds.
Yeah, not my wife, but the one before that, because I wasn't trying to do that. Like,
right, and I was you just weren't there. You were a kid.
I was not there at all. And like, I learned, I was like, damn, and that kind of forced me into that. You're right. Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, because I wasn't thinking about that. And
I was writing raps. I was awkward with girls. Yeah. Didn't have the full confidence in myself. Didn't know shit. I don't know what I'm doing. Shit. I don't know if you're gonna like this or not. You know what I'm saying?
What was your first bar?
What was my first bar? Yeah. Like, as a rapper?
Yeah.
Something about shooting threes. I remember that.
All right.
I remember
you hoop?
Oh yeah, of course. I always hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we never hooped.
We've hooped in your backyard.
Okay.
But we were adults at the time. I remember this. I think I got a 15, 20-minute warm up. And when you saw me, you was like, "You're already warmed up. I'm not fucking with you." And you just like, kept it pushing. And got back
once
to
I
work.
got old, I'm a hoop. I used to hoop with Mike.
Yeah, no, Mike hoops.
Yeah,
Mike's a hooper.
Mike, shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, like I used to definitely hoop with Mike, and I was never like the great player, but I was always the good player. I did my job.
I helped my team win.
Yeah, I helped my team win. Like, I contribute. All my coaches like me. I was a good locker room presence. There you go. Good teammate. Like, I showed up. Coaches played me, and I did my job.
I played tough defense. I definitely blocked some shots. I get some steals. I'm in the passing lanes.
Yeah, nah, that's real. That's real. So.